Are you ready to take your organization to the next level and become a game changer in your industry? Then look no further. Welcome to Yeukai Business Show, where we bring you the world's top business thought leaders to share their secrets to success, from leadership development to finance, marketing, self-development, human resource management, and much, much more. Our guests reveal the strategies, tactics, and mindsets that have made them so successful. So let's dive in and learn from the best in the business. Hello and welcome back to another very special episode. Look, I'm so grateful that you're here today and you are taking time out to educate yourself, develop yourself, and become better through listening to experts like the expert we have today. This is remarkable. You and I are kindred in spirit because we want to improve every single day. And I honor you for that. And I can't wait to hear your success story after listening to this episode. Now, let me ask you a question. Who doesn't want to know the tips, the tricks, and the secrets of the trade when it comes to this area? I don't know anybody. I think everybody wants to know the shortcuts to getting things done, to getting to the goals faster without losing your life, or losing your mind, or even stressed out, or even losing your family. So you stay tuned today and discover exactly what those tips, the tricks, and the secrets in this area today. Now, before I introduce our guest, I want to remind you of the two trainings we've got ready already for you in the community. Number one, our training on how to start, scale, and monetize your podcast training and consulting aspect of it is already ready for you. So if you want to know how to do these things, how to grow your podcasting, how to monetize your podcast, or even just simply to start, we've got you covered. And remember, we've been doing this since 2015. So we've got what works right now, not what used to work, what works right now. So I'm super excited about that. And the second thing I'm excited about and want you to check out, it is a Trevor Stockwell's leadership training. And I know that it is going to help you if you want to streamline your leadership or just want to have a strategy call with Trevor. By the way, Trevor is my business partner. I've known the gentleman, again, since 2005, so many years. And, we've been working together for a good number of years. So I know the stuff that he teaches. I know that he lives and breathes this leadership stuff. So we want you to have access to that. And finally, if you're not yet a member of our community, you want to be part of the community, because at the end of our episode, the conversation that we are starting here will carry on in those in our community. And we want you to be there so you don't miss out. All right. Enough of that. I love, telling you what we are doing, but I'm more excited right now to listen in and learn from our guests today. Isn't that great? I know, it's brilliant. Well, there you go. Thank you so much, by the way, for joining us here. And for those who haven't yet come across your work and who don't know who you are, would you tell us a little about yourself, introduce yourself, maybe in terms of your background, your education, and your experience? A lot of people want to know, how you got started. What are you doing right now in this area? What sort of people you're helping? If we could cover all these things right now, that would be amazing.
What got me started in my business, my men's life coaching business, was really my own personal experience, the combination of my business experience and really that faith experience that I was growing in. And it really all started by being involved in men's small group and connecting with guys at a whole other level, way more than inch deep, and having real intense discussions around things. And it was when I went to a retreat weekend with about 300 men at that retreat weekend where I had a real close encounter with God, where he really said to me, Mike, I want to have an intimate relationship with you. And it was in that environment and being around all those men where I realized I had a special skill and I had a road I wanted to go down and something I was really called to do, which was walk alongside men and help them find their purpose and their vision in their personal lives and in their business. And so that's what really kickstarted everything that I'm doing now and how True Man's life coaching was formed. And the whole idea behind the podcast was to go to a deeper level of that and allow us to talk about men's topics where we could help men be better fathers, and better husbands. And there's such a wide range of topics and guests that are out there that we've been able to bring to the program to try to add value to men. But I just love working in the men's environment. And I don't see, at least in my experience, a whole lot of guys doing it the way that I do it and the way that I connect with other guys. In fact, we're expanding that and really looking at getting more heavily involved in small groups that in the one-on-one coaching will morph out of that, but really getting men involved in groups, because that's an opportunity for them to learn and share with each other. And that is unmistakable when you get in a group of men and you're able to not just expand your network, but hear success stories from other men, because so much of the time, men have not had an environment like that to be in or to be around. And it's great for them to hear the stories, the success stories, the stories about overcoming the odds, the pivot points in other men's life that help lead them to success in both their personal and their professional life. And that's why I really love what I'm doing.
Amazing. Clearly, you are not a new kid on the block, really. You've been at it for a long time. So let's dive deep and begin to talk about this subject. So, what is a tip you wish someone had shared with you in the areas right when you got started? Maybe uh, expand it in terms of why this tip was so valuable and the best way for business owner to put this tip into action. And if there's any tools or websites or even apps that any first time user may be able to access. And maybe if they got stuck in implementing this tip, what can they do today to get unstuck? I know there's quite a few questions there, but if we could expand on this as detailed and logical as we possibly can, that'll be truly amazing for all those who are taking notes right now.
You know, one of the bigger tips that I've come across, a lot of coaches talk about the pain points of the people they work with, and I do the same. But one of the challenges I started to come up against and really began to realize through my own experiences is that men sometimes, and it's really all of us in general, but men in particular, have a hard time asking for help. In fact, many men go through stages in their life where they won't ask for help. And men in general have a bad habit of not asking for help. In fact, a lot of times we show up just completely broken and bleeding out before we take action on anything. And, what I have learned about the power of asking for help is sometimes we don't ask for help out of fear or shame, or we just don't want people to know, that we don't know what we don't know. And the fact of the matter is that it's a very powerful position to put yourself in is to ask for help. And so many of us don't do that. I didn't do that. That was part of my story. In fact, when I was really young, I was very introverted, but at the age of 6, I had a teacher notice that I was really straining to see the chalkboard. Yes, we had chalkboards at that time. And she contacted my parents. I went to the eye doctor and they put me in glasses due to astigmatism that I had, a lazy eye. And, there was a little bullying that went on, but more than anything, I fell into this trap of, he wears glasses, so he must be smart. And so not only was I introverted, people thought I was smart because I was wearing glasses. So I stopped raising my hand and asking questions. And that became a habit that showed up throughout my life. And it really wasn't until my adult life where I realized that there was power in asking for help. In fact, many people wanted to walk alongside me and help me answer the questions that I had. And it was a real epiphany moment. And I think so many men and so many business owners do the same thing. We don't go for help when we need help. And, take for example, I'm not a big technology guy. Technology really throws me for a loop. So, in order for me to overcome that, what I've had to do is lean on other people to help me where I had a deficit. And so I've asked for help in that area, and people have come to me in spades, and it's just been absolutely fantastic. So if there's one tip that I would tell business owners about, don't be afraid to ask for help, not only in your business, but your personal life. You will reap rewards as a result.
It's awesome. That is incredible. I certainly wish I knew this tip right before I got started. But then, this is what happens. You discover these things as you go. Let's dive deep and talk about a trick now. What is a cool trick, perhaps, you have figured out or discovered in this area that would really help business owners like me in our audience to get things done? Maybe in this area we could talk about how to, the best way to implement this trick. Really, any tools available right now that people can use, and how long the trick can take to implement. And of course, if people are stuck in implementing this, what can they do today to get them out of that dreaded place where they're stuck? And I know we can do that.
This is a really interesting question. What trick have I figured out? I don't know that this is a trick, but there is tremendous power in being authentic and real. Now, that I know that sounds funny, but here's how a lot of people show up. There's that old line out there about fake it till you make it. And when you fake it till you make it, sometimes you're not being real. You're wearing a mask. You're trying to be somebody that you're not. And listen, I did that for a long time, and I know a lot of people do that. That saying is common practice in a lot of areas. I don't buy into that. In fact, what I buy into is keeping it real, being authentic, and having honest and open conversations. And I'll tell you, I found that people really do know the difference. When you're trying to fake it, they pick up on it. It's not authentic. It's not real. It's not always honest. And so I found that having open, authentic dialogue with people, and sometimes asking their permission to speak into something, everybody out there has an opinion about something. And frankly, I know I get a little tired hearing people's opinions. So a lot of times what I do anymore is I may ask for permission to speak into something, before I really enter into an in-depth conversation, because I want people to know that I respect their opinion and where they're coming from. And I don't want to speak into something that they may not want to hear about in that moment, or that they may not be ready for. So I just think that it's critically important to have open and honest conversations with people. It's just, there's no other way to communicate in life or in business.
I hope, Bill, you're getting this, because I'm finding this very, very useful. And I'm hoping that we are also taking notes on this as well. Let's dive deep into talking about the secret now. We've covered the tips and we've covered the tricks. And now let's talk about this secret. What is the secret? Every business owner needs to know when it comes to this area. Why is it so important? And why is it secret? And why don't we, or don't many people know about it? Really, why don't I know about it? Well, I would know if it was not a secret, but we want to explore more about this so that a lot of people will be helped. And also talk about the tools. I always want to talk about tools, because I've discovered that for everything that you do, you can do better when you've got the right tools. So would you help us in this area, please?
What makes this such a great question for me to answer is, and I commonly say, I help men get out of their head and into their heart. In fact, my overarching mission for my organization is I help men unpack the goodness that's already in their heart and discover the true man inside of them. Why is this important? So much of the time we think with our head and not our heart. And our heart is that little brain inside of us that drives everything. It drives love. It drives that gut feeling that you sometimes get. You know that feeling when you've got to make a decision and you can just feel it in your gut, in your heart. I think it's important because there's so much that is derived from that. Our identity, our truth, our vision, our purpose, our confidence, all of these things are really derived from our heart. And when our heart is not being met or fed, you begin to run out of gas. You just run on empty. And that is not a good way to live. So when you're a business owner, you need to be enthusiastic. You need to have passion for what you do. If you don't, potential clients and customers, they're going to pick up on that. Do you love what you do? Do you have a strong vision and purpose for your organization? And do your clients see that and know what that's all about? I really feel like that starts with the person. And that's one of the reasons why I got into men's life coaching. Originally, when I got into coaching, I was doing some business consulting, but what I found was that was not the perfect space for me. There were other people that could be better business consultants and implement things in businesses. But what I found was you could put a world-class system into a business, but if the person didn't have a good attitude, didn't feel good about what they were doing or where they were at, then it didn't matter what system was in there. And that's why I've chosen to walk alongside men and work with them, whether it's the CEO down to the janitor. Sometimes we just get caught up in life, or we don't know what our purpose is, or we need help discovering our purpose and our vision for life so that we can live out our legacy, whatever that may be. And that's what I help guys do.
This is great. We are actually coming toward the end of our time here together. But the good news is this conversation doesn't end here. We'll carry it on in our community, which I'm excited about. And again, if you're not yet a member of our community, you want to go and join the community so you can carry on with the conversation. Coming back to you, are there any other juicy tips, tricks, and secrets at this point that you feel business owners like me can benefit from knowing them?
This may sound a little cliche in ways, but I think that some of the biggest things that a business owner and a person can do, you've got to get around successful people. Don't always be the smartest guy in the room. Get around successful people, read about successful people, listen to successful people, get their books, listen to, I was going to say tapes, but I guess now maybe MP3s or podcasts. Listen, be around successful people. Turn off the news. There's so much negativity in the world today. And the more you listen to it, the more that just seeps into your mind, into your body, and it takes you down a road you don't need to go down. It just steals your energy. If you're going to be successful in this world, you need to be around successful, positive people that believe the same thing that you do. You need to read that positive material. It's absolutely critically important to not only feed your brain, but feed your heart. And another way that you can do that is to have faith. Be spiritual in something. I happen to be a Christian, so that's what I advocate for. But have a faith and a belief in something and get around positive people. I don't think that there's anything more important than that. It will help drive your success. And the reality is, we all need great people around us. We weren't built to isolate ourselves or to do life on our own. And so it's critically important that you get around people that are like-minded, that you care about, that you can love, and that you can share your success with. Just critically important.
And finally, is there anything I haven't asked you today about this area and that you think, you know what, knowing what I know now, and with what is happening out there, this will be a great tip or a great trick or a great secret to share with our knowledge, our community. Would you share that with us today?
The final thing I would say about my business is I found that it's important for men specifically, since that's who I work with, that they need to be running to something, not away from something. And too many of us are running away from something rather than to something. And that does not allow for freedom in a man's life. And so the final thing I would say is that I work with men to help them find that freedom in their life. Many men live with some degree of they may have a regret or two in their life. There may be something that didn't go their way. But I found that a majority of men really want to leave that legacy. They want to find something in that fourth quarter of their life to leave behind, and to know that their life was meant for something. And that's what I help men do, whether again they're the CEO or the janitor. I want men to find peace with that legacy that they want to leave behind, and I help them get there and do that. With that, I'll say, hey, just reach out to me if you'd like to learn more about that at Mike@truemanlifecoaching.com, and certainly go out to my website, truemanlifecoaching.com. You can also find my podcast on there, the True Man Podcast. I'm on all major podcast channels, but you can certainly find my podcast on my website as well. I look forward to talking with you.
Wow. What do you think, Bill? This has been great. I absolutely love what we have discovered here today. And I will certainly be listening to this myself over and over and over again, because repetition, it is what is going to get these things cemented in us. So once again, thank you so much for a great interview. And I never want to finish off our conversation without giving you an opportunity to share your website or your social media handles with our community, because I know for a fact there will be people who wants to connect with you directly in that way, or even a book for a strategy session, or even for a call with you, so that you can start that journey with them. So could you tell us a little bit about your website or your social media handles so that we can connect you with you in that way?
Yeah, again, my website is truemanlifecoaching.com, and you can reach out to me. Send me an email at mike@truemanlifecoaching.com. I'm always willing to have an initial free phone conversation and talk with you and see if we're a good fit for each other. A coaching relationship is a two-way street, and it's important that you investigate and make sure that you mesh well with the person that's going to be your coach. So I always encourage that initial free phone conversation. So reach out to me. Thanks a lot.
Excellent. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. What a great conversation, truly. Great tips, great tricks, and secrets in this area. We are truly blessed, really, to have an opportunity to discover these things now, and that will help us in our business now and in the future. Now, as you can tell, we did not cover everything. We barely scratched the surface. And this conversation is going to carry on in the community, and like we always do with our other recordings. So we want you, if you're not yet a member of our business community, and that is Yeukai Business Community, we want you to click the link below so you can create an account for yourself. Download the app on your phone. Works exactly like WhatsApp or Facebook. Just go in there and you will be taken care of, and ask any questions. Don't be a spectator, just participate, and you will get more out of this than if you were just watching by the sideline. This is going to be great. So click the link below and join the community. And I know my guests, all of my guests, are in there helping people as well beyond our time on the podcast here today. So until next time, as we always say, live well, live with passion, know that the best is truly, truly yet to come. I truly believe that with all my heart, and that's why I keep saying it. And I know it's the same thing for you to live well, love on your family, love on your relative, love on those that you get the opportunity to live with. And live with passion, don't hold back, live to the full. Whatever gift you have been given, whatever opportunity you've been given, live fully. And remember, the best is truly yet to come. Life may be difficult for you perhaps right now, or maybe things are not working out the way you want them to be right now. But believe me, there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. And keep coming back into these areas and figuring out what is working and communicating with other people. You will get out of it stronger and more powerful, and you're going to help other people do extremely well. I'm very proud of you for taking time to be here. In fact, I know you and I are kindred in spirit. We are truly out there, want to develop ourselves and make something out of ourselves and be great contributors in all way around. Now, I know I'm going over, but listen, I am rooting for you. I know all my guests are rooting for you. My team is all rooting for you. We want you to succeed. So live well, live with passion. Know that the best is yet to come. See you in the community today or over the next few weeks from now. Bye-bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to Yeukai Business Show. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode and have gained valuable insight and inspiration from our amazing guest. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review to help us spread the word. Also, be sure to check out our Leadership Ultimate Success Mastermind program, which is designed to help you and leaders in our community to do great things and support each other along their leadership journey. Until next time, live well, live with passion, know that the best is truly yet to come.